I'm going to give you the two only things you need to hit 100k a month with Google Shopping. Sup guys, Jake here. And this is not going to be a super edited video where things are flying about on the screen like we do on this channel as well. This is for people that are deadly serious with Google Shopping and scaling with Google Ads itself with their e-commerce stores, and you want to get to that 6-figure a month store. So if you have the TikTok energy, it's probably not going to be the best. You're probably not going to stick around. But if you are serious about doing this, this is where you want to be. I'm going to break this down in 2 simple steps. These are the only 2 things you need. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump on the screen. So 100k months with Google Shopping. This is pretty easy once you have the formula, but there are a few components. Now, that might sound big-headed, but we've done this. If you follow the channel, the proof's in the pudding. We always do this. Pretty much every store we launch, unless we find a better opportunity, we've always managed to hit 100k a month at full scale. Now, if you're at 1k a month, 2k a month, 3k a month, that is very good, but I want to promise you something, guys. Once you stick to this video and you follow the components here, it's pretty much going to be pretty easy to 10x and 20x that if you have the right 2 components. If you don't, you need to go and fix them. But the good news is you're going to learn them today. So if you're brand new to dropshipping e-commerce, some people will say 100k a month is crazy. It is crazy if you're only used to making 1k, 2k, whatever in your job. Keep in mind, this is revenue. Profit's going to completely depend on your ad spend and your product margins, of course. This is obviously revenue. 20, 30, 40% is what we typically see. It totally depends. But it might sound crazy, but you're in the right place. So competition. Number 1. People will say competition is bad, but it's not. It's good and needed. So I have 2 examples. I've scaled both of these products, but I couldn't scale the first example I'm going to give you, and this was an egg seat. This was completely dead. I could not get past about £300 a day. So really I was selling this for £29. I was getting it for like 3 or 4 with my Alibaba supplier back in the day. I was bulk buying. And I couldn't get past 10 orders pretty much a day. I think that's about $400 or whatever. 10 orders, I just couldn't get past. I was just selling to the UK, but I couldn't get past. And I didn't realize at the time, but the search volume was trash. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So this was the product I was trying to sell. And what you can see, there is 1, 2, 3 kind of competitions, and then it's kind of like random products, right? Different products. That's not what I want to see when I type in the main keywords, right? Because if I bring the keywords in and I bring it onto your Google Ads, if you don't know what this is, go and watch the other videos. We talk about this a little more, but if you are familiar with Google Ads, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I've put get started, of course. Keep in mind, this is just UK. And what do I see? I see average monthly searches 10 to 100. That is not good. That is why I now understand back in 2020 and 2019 when I was really trying to rank this product with a lot of my other stores, I couldn't get past the 10 sales a day. And when I look at this now, I'm very lucky to get 10 sales a day. Now that was my peak. Yes, it was getting like 1, 2, maybe 3 on the more average days, but I couldn't get past the 10 sales a day. And I was trying everything I could and I just could not get past it. And this is why. This is literally why. And this is going to be the complete difference. So I want to give you another product. What is 6 figures potential, and obviously that's why you're coming in here. So just before we touch this product, the teeth whitening strips, if you are familiar with Google Ads and you're consistent and you know how to run products, etc., but you can't get past the 6-figure a month, maybe it's your search volume. Go and have a look at the main products. It might not be, we'll touch on that later, but number 1 is chances it is your search volume. So teeth whitening strips, better example. When I type in this product on Google, I see a bunch of competitors, which I love, and we'll talk about in a second. We can talk about prices, etc., but this is not a video about price. We'll touch on that in another video. But what I see is, when I bring this into my Google Keyword Planner and I click Get Started, what I will see is massive difference. Literally 1,000, 10,000x off the egg seat example. This is why we were able to scale this product to 6 figures a month quite consistently just in the UK. Now, should I have took that to USA in the past? Absolutely. But back in the days, I just stuck to UK. I just wanted to keep it a lean, mean machine because we were still dropshipping from eBay. We were still giving customers bad experiences on the delivery time. We weren't able to get the 7 days and below because I didn't know what I was really doing back then. But we were able to get the 6 figures a month. Problem was, delivery time was kind of crap. Profit margin wasn't the best, but it was scalable. And that's something I learned back in the day. So, 2, we've just touched on this, but we need to go on it again. Search volume is absolutely key. If you don't do this before your product research, you will fail. We've touched on the egg seat, we've touched on the whitening street. There's 1,000x, 10,000x difference in these numbers. That is probably why you can't scale. Now, if you're brand new, like I said, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's okay. There's other videos on the channel for you to get to this stage. But I like at least 10k a month in my main country. Less is fine, so you can get away with maybe 2 to 3k. It's going to be hard, but it's fine. Obviously, there's less competition, but you won't be able to hit 100k months unless the product cost is like $1,000, unless you're charging like 500, $1,000, unless it's super, super high ticket. You have to go to other countries, like I said, which is fine, but I'd rather have a big moat before I scale out, because if I put this to USA, I guarantee it's like 100K to 500K, right? The UK is about 4x smaller than USA, and then you've got Canada and Australia. You really main countries, especially if you're coming from a Facebook background, you used to always be able to target top 5. This is just UK, guys. So imagine when I start running ads and I fully cap out, let's say that's 150K a month. And let's say I want to, okay, now I've scaled this up. I know what keywords are converting well. I know the bids. I know everything. I'm dominating. I've built a long-term brand. Customers are getting good feedback. Imagine if I now turn on USA, right? It now goes up to $1 million a month, give or take. Just depends on the maths. It might go 650. It might go 700K. That's how you get the absolute difference. But if you try this on the execution, like I said, I've ran the product. I've done the maths. It's a 4-figure to absolute max 5-figure a month store. And that's fine, but for all the products that you're selling, for all the hassle, for everything you're putting into a store, I would rather be able to build a 6 to 7-figure a month store rather than a 4 to 5-figure a month store, which is really a cap of like 10,000, maybe 20,000 in revenue, which is fine, but profit-wise, you're probably only going to be looking at about 5 to 7K, which is fine, but in my opinion, it's not worth it, in my opinion. But it's definitely good to, if you're starting out to get learning, it may be something you want to dive into. So I'm going to give you a little bonus here. This is a bonus, a Brucey bonus if you stayed around and you have the non-TikTok mental span. So bid strategies. I will start around 28 CPC. Now people will say this is very, very low. And back in the days, I was scaling at 0.24 CPC. This is GBP, remember, so convert that, times it by 1.2 or 1.3, whatever it is in your country. If that is USA, I think it's about 0.35, whatever. These are on the low ticket items. I still need my minimum of £20 margin. So like I said, on the egg seat example, I was selling it for 29 and I was getting it for about 4 to 5, give or take. So I had about 24 to £25 margin, which ticked the box. Like I said, the problem was scalability. All you want to do after this stage is wait 3 days when you launch the campaign. Impressions will start to go up daily if done correctly. If it doesn't, there could be a multiple of reasons. Your store might be terrible, Google just might not be ranking you, your conversion rate might be trash. But chances are, if you've built a good store and you know how to build a good store, go up ever so slightly by 1 to 2 CPC and then repeat. So let's pretend I was scaling, the teeth whitening strips. Let's say I went in at 0.28. I waited 3 days, do nothing for 3 days. You're going to want to touch, you're going to want to look at it. You're going to be like, oh my God, why is my impressions? Don't touch it for 3 days. After that 3 days to about the 5 days, that should be day number 1 for your daily impressions. If it's like 700, okay, great. Let's see what the next day is. If that day is 950, great. Next day, if that day is 2,000, great. If it stagnates at 750, chances are it's going to be your bid. So put it up to 0.30. Repeat this. So wait the 3 days again. You have to wait because Google's very thingy when if you don't wait, if you do a change, it almost restarts it, right? In my opinion, that's what I've noticed with managing a lot of ad accounts and running my own stores and looking at clients of mine. So do that. 0.30, do it again. If it's again, put it at 1 to 2 cents. If you get to the point where you're bidding like $1 or $2, if you're not selling a high ticket, if you are selling a high ticket item, fair enough, it makes sense. But if you're selling a £20 margin like the teeth whitening strips and you're bidding $2, $4, it's not the bid. It's not anything else. It's your product image is trash. Nobody likes your stores. People are bouncing. That's what you need to go and fix. But chances are you know how to build a good store, etc. So Pmax is optional. We're not really going to touch on it right now. But in my opinion, you need to get to 50 to 100 sales. I still love standard shopping in my opinion. It works phenomenal. So why change it unless the ROAS breaks? So worry about this when you're at scale. Don't worry about it right now. All you guys really need to hit the 6 figures a month, I can't stress this enough, is does it have enough search volume? Is your bid strategy working for you? And is the competition there? Don't scale a product like the egg seat cushion. I promise you, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Scale products like teeth whitening strips, etc. There's a billion different examples. That's why I'm always pumped about launching stores, because there's so many examples. There's literally so many products. Don't chase these winning products that all these other ecom gurus talk about. Promise you, they don't work on Google. They're very hard to scale, and chances are Google itself will suspend you. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I hope you like this kind of raw version. I'm going to be probably introducing a raw, uncut version, no edits at all. Probably every week or every second week, just whenever I've got time. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.